I am thankful to the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar for accepting the invitation of Dr. Lakshman Patra, HOD, to invite me. My good olden days friend GP Das is here. I am very much happy. I think all the students are philosophy students here.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I am Professor teacher for PG students. I used to teach Shankara Vedanta and Western philosophy. And my book on Shankaracharya is known. You can search for it through Google. George Victor Shankaracharya. Then I was an admirer of Wittgenstein. But in 2023, or at least 2013, I am a dissident of Wittgenstein. A philosopher has to be understood on the basis of his writings and his life. In this lecture, I was very much influenced by R.C. Pradhan, Professor R.C. Pradhan from Central University, Hyderabad University. Yes. Yeah. 4 days back, I read. Then his article delivered in Andhra University. So I will give you a kind of review on Wittgenstein philosophy. Earlier, I was an admirer. Later, I became a dissident. I'd like to inform you that Wittgenstein was never a student of philosophy. He was an engineer. He was not an Englishman. He was invited to, or he was there in that great university, Cambridge University. Even Bertrand Russell was also not a genuine academic student. Bertrand Russell was a peacemaker, a writer. Most of his studies took place in his home because he was the son of a Jamindar, Lord. Russell was a son of a Lord Russell. Okay. Cambridge University was established by teachers, not by the government. Teachers were united and started a kind of academic institute, subsequently became Cambridge University. Therefore, I have some reviews. Logical positivism or Wittgenstein. So, as Patro has invited me to give a lecture, but he assigned me 2 lectures. So, therefore, the last lecture will be consistent, 100% academic, which is to be called as valedictory address. The first one is my views on Wittgenstein and logical positivism. I have come here to this university for 3 reasons. I am now entering 70th of my life. I am entering 70 years now and running. I don't want to go elsewhere, or I don't want to go to any kind of meetings and everything. Everything was suspended in my life. But I have come here because 3 reasons. One is VikramDev Verma donated huge amount of money to Andhra University, in whose name a big building was constructed some 70 years back. The block was known as now Physics Department. The physics department of Andhra University is, I think it is more than this building, 4 times more than this building. And there is the statue of VikramDev Verma there. That is one reason. The second reason is, for the last 50 years, I am thinking of Jeypore, because there was in my native, close to my native place, near Rajamandri, there was one sugar factory established in the name of the Jeypore Sugar Co. Limited, Koraput district, Odisha. The factory is different. Sugar factory, sugar producing factory, sugar cane. And the factory was earlier, I never saw anything in Jeypore or anything in Odisha, but the factory in which my father was an employee was established by the Jeypore Sugar Co. Limited, Koraput district, Odisha. I don't know whether is there any sugar factory in Jeypore? Okay, Jeypore Sugars Limited. That is the second reason. The third reason for my visit of Jeypore is Colebrook, H.T. Colebrook, an English gentleman. At the age of 16, he came to India 200 years back. And that gentleman has made a great effort. Book called Essays on the Religion and the Philosophy of Hindus. It was printed, and then I read some 20 years back, in which he stated that the Vedic manuscripts were available in Jeypore. Which Jeypore, I don't know. I thought that this Jeypore might be having some Sanskrit Pandits in olden days, 200 years back. And therefore, whether I can see Jeypore or whether there is any great king who kept Vedic manuscripts here. I don't know, but it is for the Professor G.P. Das to tell me some information about the history of Jeypore in keeping Vedas, some manuscripts of Vedas. So these are the 3 reasons for my arrival to India, Jeypore, and then I am thankful to Patra, Lakshman Patra. Okay, I read out some views. Don't worry about that. Wittgenstein wrote 2 books. Subsequently, many edited works have come up. In the first book, he proposed a kind of doctrine. A kind of doctrine what? Every idea, proposition needs to be found out with our physical eyes, like the round square. Round square is a very wonderful word, but you will not find a round square. Okay. Therefore, some of the statements in philosophy are meaningless. That is one first premise or first argument of Wittgenstein. Subsequently, he proposed the disapproval of his first argument. And in the second argument, in the second book, Philosophical Investigations, he proposed another thing, stating that my earlier statements are wrong. There are certain words which are meaningful, but we cannot see them. Walk. When I say walk, people walk. If I say that, please stand up, you will stand. When I say stand up is a word you will not find anywhere else. But there is an action followed by stand up. People are standing. So stand up is meaningful. This is therefore, as an engineer, aeronautical engineer or some engineer, being an aeronautical engineer, he reviewed philosophy lessons. So he is a Bhashyakara, not a philosopher. It is a kind of interpreter. Wittgenstein is an interpreter of philosophy, but not philosopher. Therefore, in his classroom, when he was expected to give lectures, instead of lecturing, he resigned, because he is not teaching a lesson. Rather than he is teaching himself, his views. So he is not limited to the syllabus. Ramachandra Gandhi was a grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. He was given a professor post in Hyderabad Central University. And he was given classroom work, this and that. And subsequently, after 1 year or some time, the head of the department was informed that Ramachandra Gandhi is not speaking about syllabus. He is speaking about himself. So when he speaks about himself, it is not in the syllabus. It is his commentary. Therefore, your commentary and my commentary is not to be included in the syllabus. The syllabus is having specific lessons, topics, and the topics and the lessons are to be written by some great teachers, and each lesson contains some facts and figures, dates, theories, doctrines, their meaning. So all these things are to be learned by the students in order to write in the examinations, in order to write in the competitive examination. Therefore, you will be, so education is nothing but learning something outside, from outside. And you have to remember in your brain. If you are not capable of remembering in your brain, it is not at all considered that you are an educated person. If a shepherd walks on the street, and if you are walking on the street again, close to the shepherd, uneducated, if he asks that, what is that wall poster, sorry, what is the cinema? If he asks you, then you have to reply that it is the cinema, okay, taking place in that theater. Its title is, he knows the hero because he has a vision and eyes. So on the wall poster, someone will see a person. Then he asked the neighbor, educated person, what is his name? What is the cinema? What is that? Like that. Then you should be capable of reading that. If you forget the language you read, then you are not an educated fellow. Understand? Therefore, we are here, an aeronautic engineer, and without reading philosophy, he is commenting on philosophy. Without reading philosophy. Therefore, I asked you first, are you students of philosophy? If I speak philosophy before an engineer, he cannot understand, at least. So therefore, here I will give you like Wittgenstein. I am not a philosopher. I am a philosophy teacher. I teach what I read, what I studied. So it is not my philosophy. But now, today, in this my first lecture, what Wittgenstein's legacy is, and I wrote as some viewpoints. I close my lecture with reading this. As Osho proclaims that there is no Indian philosophy or Western philosophy. No Indian philosophy, Western philosophy is philosophy, like botany, chemistry, Indian chemistry, Indian botany. No. Botany is universal. Therefore, Osho says that there is no Indian philosophy nor Western philosophy. Similarly, there is no analytic philosophy. For philosophy is analytical, having logical insights. Philosophy is having logical insights, but there is no analytical philosophy as such. We cannot accept it. We should not accept it because Osho is not accepting Indian philosophy and Western philosophy. That is one comment. So, another point. The history of philosophy shows that its business is not the analysis of propositions, whether real or logical, but concepts and ideals. So, this is another comment. The business of philosophy is not the analysis of proposition. What is that proposition? The king of France is bald. It is a proposition. Whether the king is having baldness or not. But there is a proposition like that. But what? Present or past, something. Okay. It is a derogatory statement about the French people because the author of the book is an Englishman. According to me, English people are not philosophers. Whether you bring Bertrand Russell, GMO, Locke, Berkeley, empiricists, they are not philosophers. Philosophers means French people. Why? Voltaire wrote a dictionary of philosophy, but he was not included in our syllabus because we borrowed our school education or college, university education from English people. Though English people are rain, go to Spain. Do not show your face again. And he is encouraging the rain to go to Spain, not to come and to England. The Englishman is partial in selecting the syllabus. So Rousseau and Voltaire are not placed in our syllabus because the writers are English people. So there is a partiality in writing textbooks of philosophy. Okay. Then, as Russell believed, philosophy's aim is not analysis of propositions. We were being misled by those people, Russell and Wittgenstein, by stating misleading expressions, by giving examples of sentences. Philosophy is not expected to analyze the sentences. The analysis of the sentence is the duty of the grammarian. So, philosopher's duty is the analysis of concepts, ideals. You take, that is one thing. So therefore, for example, I tell you the Greek ideals, courage, justice, temperance. So, courage, justice, temperance are not tables, chairs. They are concepts. They contain a kind of meaningfulness. So, we are expected to analyze not sentences and propositions, but concepts, ideals. because they give us inspiration. They guide us in life. They help us to regulate the society and state. So Socrates, another point. Socrates analyzed what is courage, what is justice. You will find all these things recorded by Plato. So Plato recorded what Socrates has said. Therefore, in the writings of Plato, Socrates is a hero. Socrates never written anything. So Socrates is a hero of Plato's writings. And what did Socrates in Athens? Invited the students, youth, and started analyzing what is state, what is courage, what is Greek ideas, many things. Even he discussed about love and this and that. Okay. Therefore, another point. Therefore, Shankara did what is moksha? What moksha is not visible. It is an ideal for which we have to strive. So Shankara is if we invite Wittgenstein to this seminar, he says that moksha is misleading. Moksha is misleading. But moksha is making people to be truthful. This is that sadhana chatushtaya, discrimination between the eternal and non-eternal, possessing good qualities, desiring, hankering for liberation. Therefore, words, not simple words like table, chair, computer. No. Philosophy is the business of another point. The business of philosophy is to discuss about the ideals, conceptions, with reference to their practicality, with reference to their application to our life and society. The business of philosophy is not to give, to discuss about the language games. They are all that titles are misleading the students of philosophy. They are not educating and practically leading a wonderful life, a virtuous life, a model life, a purposeful life. By analyzing, you are becoming, with the study of Wittgenstein, you are becoming a grammarian. You are becoming a linguistic teacher. Therefore, we wasted our time. At the age of 23, at the age of 18, George Victor believed, became an admirer of Wittgenstein. But at the age of 60, he realized that Wittgenstein is misleading the philosophy departments. Therefore, the philosophy departments should be known as departments of ideals. Another point. The Department of Philosophy should hereafter to be named after as a departments of ideals. So what are you learning in philosophy department? No, I am learning in philosophy, epistemology, metaphysics, and logic, or something like that. Epistemology, metaphysics, and logic I am learning. What is that epistemology? How it helps people to live comfortably? How it helps? So logic is a tool to make appropriate philosophy. Understand? Logic, another point. Logic is a tool. Epistemology is a subject that makes us perfect philosophers or perfect philosophy. So in philosophy, metaphysics is our goal, our ideal. not available for perception. Metaphysics is the goal, and epistemology or logic is the tool, and you will become a philosopher, or you can make a philosophy. So philosophy is nothing but making ideals, evolving ideals, discussing about ideals. So in philosophy department, the students of philosophy are going to learn ideals. What is ideal to the society? What is ideal to the man? What are the ideals that we need to live as human beings? So the logical positivists of the Vienna Circle were not philosophers, but scientists, technocrats, poked their nose into philosophy. The search for truth, another point, is not meant to find out stone, round table itself, but about concepts like justice, courage, moksha, nirvana, which are being held as ideals. As philosophers, our goal is not to clear about the truth of propositions, but ideas for theory of ideas. For the theory of description is a linguistic discourse. Simply, it is an armchair affair, academic affair. Thinking about linguistics is a kind of armchair discourse for laser people. Not useful. Thinkers like Socrates, Shankara, for that matters, any writer should write sentences to present their views, but their views were about ideals, the ideals that influence the humans, guide the society, mold the state. Another two last points. Therefore, the ideals for which the philosophers search for are the conceptions hoped for. Those consist a bunch of thoughts. So philosophy is a bunch of thoughts. So bunch of thoughts means many thoughts. Every thought is having a meaning, a definition. So these are my remarks about Wittgenstein after a century. So what this man is talking, he proposed one thing. This man differed with his first proposition, Tractatus Logico Philosophicus. Then he landed in investigation, philosophical investigations. To reject the first proposition, doctrine, theory, then he advanced. So, as a whole, the ideals that regulate the human life, govern the society, have remained the subject of philosophy, to which metaphysics is the goal and epistemology is the tools. Unless ideals and conceptions are ruled, philosophy becomes a barren land, neither entertained by seekers of knowledge nor keepers of society. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Victor, for your illuminating remarks on philosophy in general and on philosophy of Wittgenstein in particular. Professor Victor has ideas of thinking like the 2 pages of thinking about himself. He says that at the age of 18, he was an admirer of itself, and at the age of 60, a decision of itself. And moreover, he generally nothing that linguistic analysis is not philosophy proper. And he made some remarks which are very useful thinking. Number one, he said that the philosophy. There is no territorial division between Indian philosophy and Muslim. This also a view expressed by that there is a historical source that analysis of proposition does not constitute. In this condition, I may have some submission. The submission is that if we view the whole of the history of philosophy, like there is often the present, we find there are all marked down pages of philosophy. Number one, the tradition of ideas. In this tradition, the ideas are thought to be the center. Till is the idea of water. And in Plato, sometimes at the ethics of philosophy, we find several of ideas. Some examples also just given about the state, about human being, about morality, justice, etc. And you will find the modern question, like other modern question like that, dealing with one particular idea, the idea of substance. But that particular idea, he unifies the whole of this. Philosophy, religion, as well as ethics. Matter is the substance of science. God, the substance of religion. Soul, the substance of ethics. So one word only will speak of the whole of that is philosophy. Similar implications with the law of Berkeley, Hume. With Hume, there is strong change. Hume began to talk about judgments. Also, ideas talks about judgments. And that talk about judgments became right with Kant. So the second tradition is tradition of judgments. The judgments are the unique of units which the philosophers take up and consider. Judgment of ideas is a tradition of ideas, and then slip by the tradition of judgments. I think Berkeley would start at the apex of the tradition of judgments. And they too would stand at the apex of the tradition of ideas. Perfectly the text. Then with at the advent of the 20th century, there is totally new tradition. The tradition of propositions and their sense. Propositions and the sense of propositions and the meaning. There is a new tradition which goes beyond all these students. And one more interesting is that the subsequent tradition takes the whole of the interest tradition into suite. Now, something more. Tradition of judgment does not discover the tradition of ideas. It takes the tradition of ideas and philosophy mode. Similarly, the tradition of propositions and their meaning takes up for the contributions, tradition of ideas and tradition of judgments, and or something more. Then in Wittgenstein system, we have another tradition, the tradition of sentences and their structure. Professor Victor was speaking very high of metaphysics. Really, that is what the tradition of propositions and their meaning they miss. Here, you list a particular page that is descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. And that descriptive analysis, which deals the tradition of analysis, I mean, all the phases of development, lacks that thing, metaphysics, which is provided by the social philosophy. Therefore, Strauss's book is individuals, they say, in descriptive metaphysics. So, distribution is also that's not propositions in this meeting. In one expression, descriptive analysis, and it is supplemented by second tradition. But that's not sentences in the structure by descriptive metaphysics. So, Wittgenstein is the father of two traditions. That's not propositions in the meaning, and the tradition of sentences in the structure. He does not make the analysis like a linguistic scientist. Does that in a holistic manner. I can say it logically sees 360 degrees to it. The linguistic scientist will not analyze language in 360 degrees to it. But the philosopher will analyze language in 360 degrees to it. By obtaining which, we will obtain a region. That is what. That is what. So those my sums later. There are four traditions so far. And each succeeding tradition takes in its stride all the previous traditions and adds something more. Because finds that the previous traditions have been inadequate to solve it. So that is it. Then Professor Victor says that philosophy makes ideals. Yes, philosophy makes ideals. But the making of ideals in different ways. One philosopher might just speculate about ideals. Another can find an ideal from the existing state of things by making partition out of the existing matter. So that is all right. I think this is what very intelligently Professor Victor contributed to the discussions. And I thank him again for the lecture. And the time was fixed, and I will make time for the professor for a couple of questions.
I will say, I have got one question for Victor. That is, whatever he told that this is the role of the philosophy, why is not that the role of ethics? Where we differentiate from ethics from philosophy? Because whatever you have told, concept of justice, concept of state, concept of man, concept of the concepts which has mattered in the writings of Socrates. Yes, and also Shankar. So actually, Shankar, whatever Shankar has told, if you Bhubaneswar Mishra has analyzed Shankar, and he has told that it's nothing but linguistic analysis. He has told in his thesis. So now that is, I feel that is part of ethics. So why we call it philosophy? As Bhubaneswar has told that there are four traditions, main traditions, and slowly the arena of philosophy has grown. Out of this hundreds of years of history, thousands of years of history, history of philosophy. We are really moving forward, not going backward. That is one. Number two, to Ganesh Prasad Das, my humble question is, when we speak of that silence part, that is always confusing. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. Is it a child or an appreciation? I don't understand. Are you chiding the philosophers that you are ज़्यादा बकबक करते हैं, बकबक करना, तो जहाँ बहुत सोड़ा को meaningless कि से चाहूँगी कहिया पाई. Is it a chiding or appreciation that you are full of wisdom and therefore you must be now silent? You have got no connection with that. जैसे जमती कहती meaning of meanings. Meaning of meanings means a guest is coming to my house. I think this example is given somewhere by Wittgenstein, I think, in his blue or brown book. I don't remember exactly. My guest is coming. It means 200 barren. What is the meaning of meaning here? The meaning of meaning is different from the general concept of meaning. So in this way, context is really the overall thing, because I am working among the tribals. I know how in different contexts, social contexts, their words also change meaning. They use words, one word in a different context. For example, I will tell one word. There is chapra. When they say chapra, chapra means that is when I am taking my meals, I do chapra. It is saltless, less salt is there. But when I take tea and say that this is chapra, its meaning is there is less sugar. Sugar is not there. Proper sugar is not there. One word has got different meanings in a different context. I think Wittgenstein has been successful and successfully taught us about the use of language, because the main concept about metaphysics, that metaphysics takes birth when language goes on holiday, and language goes on holiday many a time for the philosophers. You told that philosophers have connection with the people, but armchair thinking, Wittgenstein is not an armchair thinker. Armchair thinkers are our old philosophers. Those seers who go to forest, see, think something, and bring out some thesis. So, when we go to the people where language are meaningful because they use it, for them time is time. For them time is not something very big. Time has got temporal meaning for them. In this way, so many examples can be given, but this is all, if you can answer.
Let me upload my.
Yes, thank you.
I have already clarified, emphatically clarified, that the silence appraisal is not a argument stopper. I have told that when you have spoken already in 3 words, spoken everything subsequently and adjusted, then you have to resort to silence. Because anything other than these 3 words will be worthless. So I don't have to for releasing
You say in the whole of the whole world, the friction. What is that? Vishnaji, who is the founder of that great large-scale fractions of Utkal University? Vishna. So Odisha is famous for the editions and in the academic settings about biological policy in the whole world. Therefore, like Cambridge is like Cambridge, which was popular for this positivism and the school of that mixed with Paris, Vienna section. And see, when I was when I was 30 years old, when I was in 30s, I used to keep silent before the great scholars are discussing about the radical communism, Wittgenstein in Andhra University seminars. So after their death, I started raising my voice. See. So now I cannot, I don't want to discuss anything because I am not capable of answering either GP G or Joseph sir. You know very well, better than me. So I am limiting myself for the comments that I have made. And man has to live not by language analysis or eating bread, but we live by ideals. And this is it has been said so far. My last point is that man is social animal, man is rational animal. No? What I say, George Victor says that man is an ideal animal. We live for ideals. Maybe traditional, maybe contemporary, but we always live by ideals. Okay. So, therefore, ideals are to be studied. Ideals are to be imbibed. So, ideals of our forefathers, ideals that are entertained by our neighbors. Therefore, philosophy should today stand for ideals. Thank you very much.
I add on two things. Is ideals have to be acquired, ideals have to be followed, ideals have to be lived. But sorry, ideals cannot be saved. They are only shown. Let me tell you that during my Bangalore days, University Bangalore days, a junior colleague told me, out of inquisitiveness or out of boldness, I don't know. What is your philosophy? What is your philosophy? My reply was, please stay with me and you will know what is your philosophy. So that cannot say, that cannot be true. About the motto, recent motto of the Department of Philosophy, whatever could be said in 3 words. And the motto of the English succeeds, I will teach you differences. And this motto has been borrowed from Shakespeare's King Lear, who told his youngest daughter, I will show you differences. That is adopted by what he said in like philosophical basis. But if you analyze the two mottos, whatever could be spoken in 3 words, I will show you differences. Then the two are just two sides of the same coin. Two analysis show the difference. Difference between descriptive use of words and non-descriptive use of words. Demonstration. The different images of the particular word. On the right, there are fusion, there will be metaphysics, there will be commerce. So with these comments, I think we finish our first presentation, and I think I should say that this session is over temporarily for break for lunch. Then I will be here, you will be here, and we will take up your prize. Then we please. Thank you very much, sir.
I give an answer to this.